Okay guys, before we get into our new grammar for today, I'm going to do a little bit of review. We're going to do two sections of review. First, we need to review the two verbs ir and ser. Okay? So if you remember, ir means to go and ser means to be in the permanent form. I wanted to review with you guys how to conjugate them in the present tense, just so you're recognizing what we're talking about. And I'm such an artist, but here we go. Okay? To conjugate ir in the present, we would always say yo voy, tú vas, él o ella va, nosotros vamos, and ellos van. Okay? So yo voy means I go, tú vas, you go, él o ella va, he or she goes. Okay, so that is reviewing how to conjugate ir in the present. Second thing I want to review is how to conjugate ser in the present tense. Okay, so these are saying things like I am a girl, I am the Spanish teacher. Alright, the yo form is yo soy, tú eres, él o ella es, nosotros somos, and ellos son. So now that you remember how to conjugate in the present, hopefully that will help us conjugate them today in the preterite. Okay, now that I have a clean space to work with, the second thing I wanted to review with you guys today is what we did last chapter, and those are regular verbs in the preterite tense. Okay, so that's what we just started last chapter. Preterite tense being the past tense. Okay, and that's what we were working on with the song.
I'm talking A, I speak O, O, almost I speak R, right? That's the conjugation of AR verbs. Now talking E, speak E-O, E-O, speak zero. That's the conjugation of ER verbs.
So regular preterite verbs, when you know that they are regular, here is how our endings are going to be structured. For AR verbs, remember our endings are A, aste, O, amos, and aron. So those are the regular endings you can add to verbs in the preterite. Okay, then I also want to review the ER, IR endings for regular preterite verbs. And they're all going to be the same. They are E, iste, io, imos, and ieron. So that's what we started last chapter. You need to keep this in mind. These are only for regular verbs. Now we're going to start working with each individual irregular verb. I'm going to talk about some irregular preterite verbs. You can find all of these notes on page 140 of your textbook. Okay, so the one we're talking about today is one conjugated form that belongs to two verbs. The two verbs are ir, which remember means to go, and then it also belongs to ser, which means to be. Remember, to be in the permanent form. So what I want you to write in your flip charts in the grammar section is these two verbs as well as this one conjugation chart, because they're going to share the exact same conjugated forms. They both match this chart. That is the point of today. Once you have your chart drawn, here are the conjugated forms. The yo form is yo fui. The tú form, tú fuiste. The ella form is fue. Nosotros is fuimos. For those of you that like to learn the vosotros form, the vosotros is fuisteis, and then the ellos form is fueron. Again, to review, that's fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. So that is all you need to know for tomorrow in class. Remember, both verbs ir and ser match these same conjugated forms. Alright, now that you've had time to write all of the conjugated forms in your flip chart, we are going to work on a couple of examples. So the first example we're going to do is how to say I went to the mall. We're going to translate this sentence. Here we are at the mall. To say I went to the mall in Spanish, you would need to say yo fui al centro comercial. Okay, so this is structured just the same as you would do it in the present. Yo voy al centro comercial, but we change and do it in the past. Yo fui. The second example we're going to do is I was a student at BHS. So here we are at the high school. To write that in Spanish, you would say yo fui un estudiante, if I could write, en BHS. So again, it's the same as saying yo soy un estudiante, but we're putting it in the past with the fui form. Okay? So we're just going from saying things in the present to saying things in the past.